Hey folks, Renfail here. Hopefully you're doing well. I don't often react to other content creators and their content because that's not what my channel is about. I am not a reaction channel. I am a gaming channel. I focus on my playthroughs, I focus on game guides. But Josh Strive Hayes put out a really good video recently called I've Been Away Because Streaming Culture is Awful. And I've been sitting on it for about a week in the Discord, just sort of, letting things percolate, looking for a spare time to talk about it in greater detail. And then something happened over the past few days, which in the United States, which spawned this just reaction of politically charged idiocy that has just come bubbling out of the cesspools across every single social media channel I have. And even though my channel is all about gaming, people have been trying to take these things about gaming and make them into these political situations, and I won't have any of that anything. I don't want anything to do with that. Um, my channel has always been about gaming, and having fun playing video games. I actually have been accused of toxic positivity on my channel because people will often say you never talk bad about games, and I say that's not true. You can go check out my first impressions playlist where I have lots of games that I play for an hour and a half and just choose not to continue because I don't like certain aspects of them. But the difference is that I don't go out and make video about how that game is hot garbage or slop. I just say, it's not for me. You might like it. Check out the first impressions, and I move on about my day and focus on streaming the games that I have fun playing because I really do love video games. I love TVs. I love TV shows, movies. Those are the things I love. And the things that I love are the things that I share on my channel. But it has become increasingly difficult to make content about the things that I love and stream the things I love because so many people who come into the chat want to make it about anything other than fun, and they want to try to force their political viewpoints or their viewpoints whatsoever down other people's throats. And if you don't agree with them, it's this black and white scenario. I don't know. I could go on, but I want to watch Josh Drive Hayes video with all of you because if you haven't watched this video yet, it is one of the best pieces of social commentary that I've seen come out of 2025, especially relating to gaming. I resonated with it a lot. I have additional thoughts on things, which I will give to people as we go through this video. It is going to be it's about a 10-minute video, but I always talk about things in greater detail. So without further ado, let's just get going here.
Because two important things have happened this week. Two very important things have happened this week. I'm going to tell you about them. Because of my stream. That's how that works. Josh, where have you been? Why haven't you been streaming? I'll tell you. Thank you. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked. That sets me up remarkably nicely. First of all, can you all admire my Oh Dear Dinah mug from the Alan Wake games? That's one of the things I've got to tell you about. Alan Wake is so good, I like coffee now. It's that good as a game. That's the highest praise I can put. Like, I thought Alan Wake is the next video on the Was It Good series, and I played all the way through Alan Wake, and obviously I was finding these coffee cups and these coffee little thermoses around the thing. I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a try. Yeah, I finished that game in 2 days. It's that good. So Alan Wake is now one of my favorite games of all time, without a doubt. I'm beginning to think that Sam Lake is a legitimate genius. Like, I played Max Payne and thought, this is good, but there's flaws. Then I played Alan Wake and thought, this is better, but there's flaws. However, I can see the potential. So, I mean, I've never met Sam Lake, but I think if I ever do, I want to be able to have that coffee sip thing with him. He's one of the few people working in games now that I think I would be comfortable legitimately calling a genius. His games aren't flawless at all, but
no game is
I think
flawless.
They're the kind of games that you love in spite of their flaws. So that's my plan. But made myself an Oh Dear Dinah mug. The next thing I'll tell you about is a very important thing that I've got to.
I just realized my head is over his
with
head.
All of you. It's a remarkably important thing.
It is what it is.
We'll wait. People are here. Don't worry. About 400, 500 people joining. We'll get. Yes, I'm accepting the Remedy verse. I'm going to play Control. I'm going to play Quantum Break. Got to make sure Visa's here, because without Visa here, he can't farm clips. That's what it is. Okay, cool. There's 500 people here. I need to share a secret with you. And this is probably the clip Visa will use. I have worked out that I love streaming. And I hate streaming culture. I've been analysing it, and it's awful. I hate it. I don't like it at all. Because the poster boys for what streaming is as a medium are the worst possible examples that we could have. People that aren't familiar with streaming will see those rage baiters in real life trying to make people angry just for a prank or a reaction. They'll see idiot man-children running around with far too much money. They'll see political activists on both the extreme left and the extreme right, not really trying to push any kind of agenda of their own, but more rile the other side up to reaction or clip farm.
That right there is the number one. Rile them up or somehow capture them and click farm them to make advertising revenue. And we were mocking one of these content creators, or a couple of these content creators recently, because all they ever do anymore is make videos, and the thumbnail will be them going, looking really serious or looking surprised, and the caption will say something like, "This is insane. This is crazy. They surely didn't do that." And it seems like all these individuals do is farm clicks using clickbait, rage bait, reaction style videos around video games. And it's like, it's very frustrating. And those have become the poster boys, like he said. And it's very hard to make legitimate game content when that is what the majority of people think is game streaming. And it's like, so when you try to make something like positive, like what I do, you try to make fun content where you're actually having fun playing the video games, you get accused of having toxic positivity, or you get accused of being a paid shill, because there's no way anyone could actually play games that are that garbage. There's no way anyone could like slop like that unless you were being paid to play it. And it's like, man, what have we come to? Like,
You'll see people with basically no knowledge of a specific subject casting themselves as the Dunning-Kruger king, again, simply to rile up the emotions of people who watch them, and then all of them make an absurd amount of money. Yeah. I've realized that it is the domain of the gifted man-child in order to, rile up whichever user base and demographic they have decided to make angry at the other side this week. I've realized that it is artistically vapid, it is commercially demonic, and I hate everything about streaming culture in general. However, I like streaming to an audience.
So I love the communal aspect of sharing in the joy of a video game. I want to share my excitement for and my love of a game with other people. That's the reason I do what I do. That's the number one source of enjoyment I get, is sharing my love of games. And not just games. My channel is all about all things nerd, like video games, TV shows, movies, tabletop, like all the things that I love in life are the things that I want to put out into the world on my channel, because I have a love for sharing that. But it has become increasingly hard to do so because of all of the people who want to just drag you down and trash you, but when you're having fun. And we've talked about that a lot on my channel before, the rats at the bottom of the bucket, where when one rat starts to climb out, the other rats pull them back down, because how dare anyone else make it out of the bucket? How dare anyone else be happy in life when this other person is miserable? And so they want to drag everybody else down to make them all as miserable as they are at the bottom of the bucket. It's a sad thing.
Problem is, in order to step away from the video game jail and become a more socially, culturally relevant streamer, you need to step away from video games and get into either extremely divisive politics or essentially playing to an emotionally immature crowd of essentially either children or young men that haven't matured past being a mental child.
This is insane!
And I think that sucks. I think it's horrible.
It does
I think it's
suck.
casting this glorious medium in one of the worst ways. It's lowering the barrier effectively into hell. It is the lowest common denominator. And I have decided that I really can't be asked to keep up with any of that. So we're going to pretend it's 1996, and I'm going to play Red Alert while chatting to you guys about shit that matters with your actual life, without doing any of the stuff that I think is demeaning the art of streaming into the ground. That's where I'm at. just so you all know, I don't care about hiring a production team and flying around a country while being the most obnoxious person that I could possibly be. I don't care about riling up either political side. I don't particularly care about playing Metal Gear Solid, the new Snake Eater version, even though they sent me a load of stuff, which is lovely. I'll show you the stuff they've sent me. I was sat here for about an hour before I clicked go live thinking, what do I want to do? Because from a business point of view, I should be playing the big games. I should be getting people angry. I should choose a specific demographic and rile you up against whoever I decide is your enemy this week.
Oh, I love it, because this is something we've noticed, is that every couple of weeks, sometimes it's every week, there's a new game that certain content creators, certain streamers will decide that you're supposed to hate. And you're supposed to hate it because of these weird reasons, like the developers have pink hair, or the game developers might be transgender or gay, or it might be a woman in charge, or a person of color, or a person of a different demographic, and suddenly you're supposed to hate that. And it's gotten really, really, we can always tell when it's coming, right? Because suddenly you'll get this group of people who will show up on our streams or show up on the videos, and they'll start yelling about things like, this game is woke, this game is slop, this game is garbage. And that's why I have the pink wig, which I pull out in those extreme situations to make fun of those people. But it's gotten really tiring, that it's just, you just can't get away with it. You can't get away from it, I should say. Not can't get away with it. You can't get away from it.
I should make you feel that you are being seen and heard. I should be a lightning rod for extreme things, because people don't want entertainment. They want confirmation bias. They want to be told what they already know in another slightly more intelligent sounding way.
They want confirmation bias.
That's made me feel even better about myself.
We just had this conversation this morning during the Borderlands 4 stream. And actually, this morning's stream was the one that made me go, you know what? And if you're a channel member here on YouTube, you've already seen this video. But I made the decision this morning after breakfast. After the stream, I went and had breakfast with my wife, and I sat and I talked to her about this just nasty series of interactions we had during the stream. And I don't have moderators. It's just me. I'm a one-man show. And so when we start getting bigger streams, we start attracting, every single time, you start attracting these nasty people who are not part of our main community, who show up out of nowhere, and they just start saying the stupidest things. And we had this really kind of, it was not a pleasant discussion this morning about, people having confirmation bias. And I spent more than half of my stream this morning, instead of playing the game, I was having to moderate and deal with people who had extreme views in my chat, who were interrupting the reason we were there, which was to play this amazing fun game that we're having a blast playing. And so I took that, went to my wife and said, these are my thoughts, what do you think? And she agreed with me. And so for the rest of September, at the very least, I am locking things down, and we are going member only on the live streams for Twitch and YouTube. So if you're not a subscriber on Twitch or a member on YouTube, you won't be able to chat during the live streams, because it has gotten so toxic in my live stream chat that I don't want to deal with it. I just want to play games and have fun, and that fun is being interrupted by other people who just want to come in and literally piss all in your Cheerios and ruin your breakfast because they don't like the thing that you're doing. And I'm over it.
Give this person money. And honestly, that all sounds like bullshit. So let's pretend it's the Allies versus the Soviets again, and send some small soldiers to kill some other small soldiers. That sounds like a much... In fact, you know what? You don't even deserve this resolution on the webcam. I'm dropping this down. Perfect. You have a lower resolution webcam. That's what you get. Yeah, I basically realized that I absolutely hate streaming culture. I think streaming culture is completely... I think it's childish and vapid at the same time. Because unfortunately, I've met people that are really into... Whenever you say to someone, hey, do you watch streams? And they're always like, yeah, I watch the most obnoxious, annoying, irritating person you can possibly think of because it's fun. No, it's not. It's irritating. And when you meet... Because the problem is that there is a huge amount of people who are very emotional. And there is a huge amount of people who are very emotional in the exact opposite way. Mm-hmm. And if you choose one of these sides of people, you can make a lot of money because you just rile them up against the other side. And it's not even always political. Sometimes it's just sociological. Sometimes it's economical. Sometimes it's just cultural in general. You choose one of the sides and tell them the other side is wrong. You are great. You're fantastic. Support me. Give me lots of money. That's great. I will be your champion. However, in the middle, and this is not, again, political spectrum, it's mainly in the middle socially and culturally, there's the idea that you just kind of want to play video games.
For
We just
fun.
kind of want to hang out, be normal,
Yeah.
chill out, see friends, see family, make enough money to pay your bills, survive, pay your rent. Maybe grab a takeout on the weekend, enjoy whatever film there is out there. You know, go bowling, play laser tag, that kind of general normal vibes.
Touch grass.
The problem is, those people, despite being a bigger amount of the population in general, aren't watching Twitch. They're out doing the stuff that's fun. You guys, from what I've kind of worked out, are the normal people on Twitch. Because if you weren't, you would be at another streamer who is on one of the extreme sides, getting your confirmation bias sucked directly from the teat of information.
Right into your veins.
The normal people are either out touching grass or here. Now, I'm not normal either. I was sat here before streaming. This is what started this whole rant. I was sat here before streaming thinking, what do I want to play? And I thought, you know what? I don't want to paint Warhammer live on stream, despite the fact I've got like 100 high elves sat in front of me that I need to finish, because that is my mental break, my mental time off. I'll stick this total side thing, but at the minute I'm really into book talk for some reason.
Book talk's not
We'll
a
talk
bad
about
thing
that
to
in
be
a second.
into, sir.
But I realised I don't want to paint Warhammer. That is my side break. So instead, I'm going to play a 1996 video game. That's what we're going to do. I've just confirmed your bias that you are normal and not extreme in any way. There you go. See, I'm aware of where I sit within this dichotomy of streamers. Dead in the middle. We are going to be neither over nor underwhelming. We are just whelming. Every one of my viewers is someone who has more important on their primary monitor. And what you want on your secondary monitor is a content creator who you can look away from for 5 minutes, come back, and not much has changed. That's what you want. I am the backup Netflix.
Normie extremism.
You
I
want
love that
something
comment.
in the background, but you don't want to pay attention to it.
Normie
You just want to
extremism
know
shall
when you come back
rise.
and look at it, there'll be just enough there. I'm like a sugar block. You know that horses have those big sugar bricks that occasionally when they get bored, they walk over, lick the sugar brick, and then walk away. That kind of, I don't know what to do,
It's actually
but
a
I'm
salt
going to do
lick.
something vibes. That's what I bring to Twitch. What's the phrase? I'm like the Windows Maze screensaver
Oh, wow.
of Twitch. You put me on when you aren't sure what else is going to go on.
It's a great discussion to everybody. I think that Josh had a really good point of view. Um, it's, I love my job and I love video games. I love watching movies and I love watching films. But there's a few things that just drive me up the wall. And if you're a long-term community member, you've seen me, respond accordingly to these people. But it's like anytime I talk about like Star Wars or Star Trek or Lord of the Rings, things that I love and have loved since I was a child, invariably you will have someone coming out of the woodwork yelling about how my love of these things is incorrect. I had someone tell me the other day that I have Star Wars bias, and I was like, what? What even is that? Like, I just love Star Wars. Like, I've loved Star Wars since the very first time I heard that snap hiss of lightsabers, and the blasters and Han Solo and Chewie and Luke and Leia and Darth Vader, and like, you're never gonna take that away from me. And I've loved video games since as far back as I can remember. I think one of the first memories I have of being shown a video game was probably Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders in the like late 80s maybe. I can't remember if that was the first one or not. There was like my grandfather had a Macintosh and he had like a Lord of the Rings game on his Macintosh that I can remember as well in the mid 80s, having that first Nintendo Entertainment System and playing, like Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And I've always loved games and I'm always going to love games, and I will continue to play games until I'm either no longer able to play games or they put me in the grave, whichever one comes first. And I will hopefully be able to continue to share that passion and love with people through the internet. But yeah, streaming culture is awful. I feel like 2025 is the worst. Like I'm coming March. Well, February will be 4 years full time. So we're starting to edge up to the end of my fourth year doing this full time, the 4 year mark anniversary. And I feel like every year it has progressively gotten the nasty side of the internet has gotten louder, larger, and that confirmation bias has gotten stronger and stronger. And if you don't fit in to the mold that these larger content creators are creating, then you're the enemy. And it's like you're just not allowed to have fun if those people say you're not allowed to have fun. And has genuinely made streaming, you know, there are days when it is not as fun as it used to be, and that's not because the games aren't fun, it's because the people who are coming into the chat and literally trying to piss all over everybody else's fun has gotten to the point like where I said, most if I was actually working with moderators, we would just have people moderating, but I don't want to deal with having moderators. We've talked about this before. I would rather just do what we're going to do for the rest of September and see how it goes, which is going to be um, putting things on member only and subscriber only just to keep the trash out because the trash can look in from the window and keep going on because this is not the chat you're looking for. Anyway, love to hear your guys' thoughts on that video. Drop them down below. Make sure to go over to Josh Drives Hayes' channel and like his video, leave commentary on his video. And yeah, we're going to continue to have discussions around this topic, I'm sure, in the coming months and weeks. But like I said, I don't normally do reaction videos to other content creators. It's happened 2 or 3 times in the total course of my channel, but that was a good enough video that I really wanted to react to it and comment on it because I agree with pretty much everything he said. Um, it's yeah, streaming culture is not fun. I love streaming, but it's rough. Yeah, yeah, for real.